in this chairs, and I've been sitting in the uncomfortable. So the very first day I sat down on one and I went straight through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we've been very careful about making folks sit here. So how has your time in South Africa been?
Fantastic. Yeah, it's been really good. This is, we've been to hundreds of conventions all across the world, and I think Aki and I both came to the agreement that this honestly might be one of the best cons we've been to. Like that else, like you guys, like the vibe is so good, and like you guys have so many amazing like varieties of stuff you can do at this con. Like organization's fantastic.
I've never seen a con give out like tattoos,
Yeah.
which is so crazy to me. I'm actually getting a tattoo today.
Yes.
I'm gonna be getting. Has anyone here seen the movie Nausicaa from Studios? Yeah, I'm getting like the final frame of it where her mask is in the ground. It's probably gonna go on my bicep here. Joey might get his first tattoo.
Maybe. Aki's like trying to talk me into it for years now. I've always wanted tattoos, and people are always surprised when they find out I don't have tattoos.
You would look so good in that. I'm just saying.
The problem is I have a very strict Japanese mother.
Okay.
Who would definitely kill me if she found out I got a tattoo. But I think there's a time and place where I'm just like, you know what? Screw you, Mom.
Well,
In the nicest way.
Well, Joey was saying like it might be a gift for himself because his birthday is in a couple days. He's turning
29.
Sorry, I'm 30. You're 20.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Well, you just have to get it where Mom's not going to see it.
Yeah, I have to kind of maybe put it in like a sneaky area, and then she'll be like, "You got a tattoo? Show me." And I'll be like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
You're not going to want to see where the tattoo is, Mom. That's exactly it. So, we didn't get to do this the first day, but we're going to do some Q&A from the audience. Sound good?
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So this guy right here's got a microphone. He's going to walk around. If you have a question, put your hand nice and high. And when you speak into the microphone, just speak as loudly as possible because it is kind of hard to hear up here. So looks like we're ready to go.
As a man also from Thailand, I need to ask you, does all bread still taste the same?
Does all bread taste the same? We need some context for this because not everyone here might be a Trash Taste fan. I don't know. But my co-host, who is also from Thailand, as this gentleman is, once famously said that all bread tastes the same.
Oh yeah.
What do you think on that?
No.
What do you think?
It's a very interesting question.
Don't tell me you agree.
No.
Yeah, right?
No.
Yeah, raisin bread, cinnamon bread.
No, even just like the plain breads. Like you can taste the difference between like sourdough bread and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't agree with that because I have taste buds. I'm like, but if you actually watch the latest Trash Taste episode, he actually went back on that opinion. He actually, after Europe, he does think that bread tastes different. So we did it, guys. Thanks for your question. Just pick anyone. Yeah, pick anyone.
Let's do a quick fire. Let's try to get as many as we can.
Hi, so I've been looking forward to sort of event like this since I heard you wanted to come to South Africa on Trash Taste. What led you to get an interest in coming here?
Well, Aki and I have always kind of, we've loved traveling and like especially going to like new countries and stuff. And one, I guess, entire continent that we've always wanted to come to was Africa. So yeah, we've been thinking about coming to Africa for ages now. And then when we heard that, apparently more than 5 people in South Africa watch us, because we had no idea. And we got this invite to this convention. We were like, oh, perfect. We can finally actually visit this continent we've always wanted to go visit, and it's dope as hell so far. South Africa's a dope country. But yeah, I guess that's the reason why we're here right now. Yeah. Thanks for your question.
Hey Joey, hey Aki.
What's up?
It's nice to see you guys after, I don't know, it's been a long time. I remember back in 2019 when you mentioned you were coming to SA and then COVID hit, and I'm sure all of us are like, oh no!
Yeah, that was bad.
I have a question. You guys have met various you guys have met various musicians around Japan, Gakt, Yavi, and many others. But I'd like to ask, like, if there's any new artists that you've been like interested in, like trying to meet up or have an interview with, like currently, would you share with us, please?
Do you have any?
Yeah, I don't know if people here know this band, but they're huge in Japan. They go by Higedan, and yeah, I would love to interview with them.
You've done like you've met some Japanese musicians, but never like did a video of it. Like you met the Pillows.
Yeah, I met the Pillows, who did the soundtrack to Fuli Fuli. I've always wanted to interview, just for my own childhood, Utada Hikaru. Yeah, so I feel like she is like the gateway into like a lot of Japanese music for like 90s kids or whatever.
And all the Kingdom Hearts fans.
Couldn't be me. But yeah, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with me is that I have such a weird music taste that all the bands I want to meet, probably no one in this room knows or cares about. But I am going to like a bunch of concerts when I get back to Japan. We're seeing Maximum the Hormone and
We're going to a Maximum the Hormone concert.
and Baby Metal as well. Baby Metal. So yeah, there's a lot of Japanese bands I'd love to like go see live. Meeting them in person, I don't know. I'm not like too fussed about it. I just want to see them do what they do best, you know. But thanks for your question, man.
Dang it.
Hi.
Hello.
Aki, I don't know if you guys know. Aki, you do a lot of true crime content. We'd like to know what got you interested in the true crime. I watch every video.
Yeah, so I've always really liked looking at just like true crime in general, and beyond, of course, like Jeffrey Dahmer, like just for years. And I always just found it fascinating, but I was kind of secretive about it because I thought, oh, people will think that I'm really weird for it. I've had like friends that say like, how could you like, you know, these serial killers when terrible things happen? And the thing I have to say is with true crime, it's kind of like a train wreck or a car crash that you can't look away from. You don't like that it happened, you don't like that someone got hurt, but the first question as just like very curious human being is why and what led up to that. And so I just found it really fascinating to look at the psychology, because I also think it can really teach us a lot about how to do preventative measures in the future, so that usually I feel like a lot of the times it's not so black and white. I think things have happened through a person's life to put them in this position. So that's what I was interested in. And Japan is a very interesting culture where it's very introverted. People don't usually like to talk about their mental health. They usually, we have a quote that I can't really remember how it goes in Japanese, but it means the will to endure. So they would rather bottle it up inside. But crime in Japan, even though there's hardly any, the crime that does happen in Japan is like from 0 to 100. It's not even anything that's like normal per se. So because of that, I wanted to kind of like dive deep into that, and I felt like a lot of people, when they look at Japan, they look at all of like the really great and beautiful stuff, and it is a great country, but every country has a dark side to it, and I think Japan has done very well at keeping it on the down low, and I kind of exposed it a little bit. Hi. But yeah, so I was kind of glad to see that people were more fascinated by that side just as much as I am. And yeah.
Thanks for your question.
Hi Joey, how's it going, man?
I'm good, man.
Good. Can you please apologize for recommending Metamorphosis?
No. What you should be saying is thank you for showing me a masterpiece. That's what you should be saying. Yeah, I don't know. By the way, for any children in the crowd, don't forget everything you just heard.
Don't forget.
There you go. Thanks for your question.
Hi guys. first of all, I just want to thank you guys for being here. Y'all were like the first channels that I subscribed to on YouTube. So yeah, well, basically my question is for a friend of mine back home. His name is Mali, and he just wants to know, like, trash tastes African to a win.
Well, I have to convince Gon and the white guy to come to South Africa, which is kind of difficult because they don't like traveling as much as I do.
Ah, dang it.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll make sure to put the good word in there because it's been nothing but great so far.
Thank you.
Hi guys,
Hello.
big fan. Aki, I love your videos. Joey, I follow you on Twitter.
You're welcome.
Follow you on Twitter. I just wanted to ask if you guys could get isekai into any anime.
If you get isekai into any anime, where would it be? Any harem anime.
Okay. No, listen to me.
Because let's be real, most anime worlds suck. To me. Like everyone's like, oh, I want to go to One Piece, I want to go to Naruto, I want to go to Bleach. I'm like, those worlds suck. People are out to kill you in those worlds. I don't want that. Right? It's like the most common sense answer to that question is like some kind of rom-com show or some kind of like slice of life show, you know? Because everyone's like, oh, I want to be in the Attack on Titan world. You will die. It's not a good world to be in. Yeah. But thanks for your question. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
So it's awesome to see that students who I actually know came to South Africa, because lots and lots of people avoid it because of the stereotypes and how dangerous it is, or iffy. And I wanted to know, do you think that would you recommend that other people, more international names, also come here?
Yes. Yes. 100 times yes.
Yeah. I mean, because, we heard about, those, I guess, stereotypes, if you will, about, South Africa being, dangerous country, especially in, some parts of the country. But at the same time, I was just like, well, that's like a lot of countries out there. She's from America. I've flown to America dozens of times. That's a dangerous country as well, So I feel like, as long as it's not like giga dangerous, like war zone dangerous, I'm pretty open to going to explore new countries, and that usually doesn't deter me necessarily. Yeah, the question was, would we recommend South Africa to people? And I'd say yeah, because, again, as much as it is dangerous, or, so they say it is, it's just like a really cool, and especially for people like us, very different culture to actually get to experience, and I think that is that's all you could ask for, Yeah, thanks for your question.
All right, we have time for one more question.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Joey and Aki. To tie into the last question, I just want to know, everybody has preconceptions of most countries. What would you say is one thing you met your expectations and one thing that maybe disappointed you guys about coming to South Africa?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I guess the thing that was better than my expectations was just, the food for one is so good. And again, just I don't know, the culture, I think, that just being able to see little bits and pieces of that culture. And, we're going to be here for a little bit after the convention as well to kind of explore more. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, just the way you guys kind of embrace the culture, is really cool, I think. Something that disappointed? I'm not too sure.
I mean, we're getting allergies pretty bad. I think that's just the only thing.
Yeah.
But
Joburg is windy as shit, dog.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I've had my microphone's been pretty dry. That's honestly the only thing. I might be just the time of year, so we weren't really prepped for that. But overall, I haven't really had any issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question, man.
But that was the last question, right?
Yes, correct. But let's. I'm going to give you extra time because I don't care.
Okay.
But let's flip it on the side, because what would be some preconceived notions about Japan that they would think that are true?
Visiting Japan is very different to living in Japan. If there are any people in this crowd who have thought, I want to live in Japan, just understand that visiting it and the things you see and the things you interact with are still there when you're living there for sure, but there are a lot of things that you don't see from the process of living in Japan that they don't tell visitors. So I would say, if you ever thought about living in Japan, for example, I would say come and visit Japan, I'd say a couple of times. Don't decide from just the first time, right? Because especially if you're kind of just stuck in Tokyo, stuck in the big touristy places, because outside of those touristy places, it gets very different. And then when you live there, it becomes a whole other level of difficulty again. So I would say I'm not going to say don't come and live in Japan because it's a fantastic country to live in and the pros definitely outweigh the cons. But I would say really think about it and really make sure that and ask yourself, okay, is this a culture that I can fit in with? So that's my answer. Do you have one?
I guess there's a few little specifics. If you visit Japan, there's no benches. You're gonna have to walk everywhere. The other one is, I know that everyone's heard about the whole Japanese people don't like tattoos. Honestly, that whole thing has actually totally diminished. The only thing is just public baths, which is the onsens. They're still pretty strict. So don't worry by coming to Japan if you have tattoos. They're used to it, especially if they see that you're a foreigner. Or I don't know, even with Japanese people, there's more that have tattoos. I think it's just because they thought tattoos equal Yakuza, but most people know a Yakuza tattoo when they see it. And the other one is, I don't know. there's too much about it. It's just a very different culture.
And then is there any last thing you would like to say to the folks here in South Africa, since this is your last time on stage with us?
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, so right after this panel, we're going to be downstairs. This is the last time that we'll be doing a meet and greet today. This slide says we're in Hall 6. That's not true. It's downstairs in the autograph booth. Even if you go to this booth, it will probably tell you the same thing. So feel free to line up there. And we have exclusive prints. They are running out, so feel free to go grab them. Other than that, honestly, this is the best convention I think I've ever been to.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for just being so cool and just giving us the warmest welcome. We really appreciate it.
The bull tongue's amazing. Thank you for the invitation.
And last question. Would you, maybe come visit us in Cape Town?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I cannot thank you enough for being here. It's so great. Everybody got the chance to see you. Thanks for, you very easily after 2019 could have been like, we had our shot. and you made the journey here. And y'all have been absolutely wonderful and great with the fans. And I think they all appreciate it as well. Am I right?
Thank you.
One more time, please put your hands together for these lovely folks up here.
Thank you guys.
And happy birthday, Joey!
Happy birthday!
I'm old.